with Courtney Hollander, sophomore on the SPU women's basketball team. Falcons getting ready to head to Alaska this week to play Anchorage and Fairbanks. But first, last week, not a great game against Simon, then just a huge turnaround against Western Washington. Courtney, just talk about, from your perspective as a player, just what went well on Saturday night out there.
Yeah, after the Simon Fraser game, we just kind of refocused as a team, and we set more team goals and kind of went back and looked at our goals for the season at the beginning of the year. And so I think that was just a huge perspective changer for going into the Western game, and that just really set the tone at the beginning of the game.
Third quarter of that game, we're down by 17. We make a 17-0 run. Teams don't just make 17-0 runs on Western Washington. Talk about that a little bit and what that did for you guys, just your mindset out there.
Yeah, definitely. Same thing at halftime. It was, again, just that refocusing. And I think because we're such a young team, we've just been having to go into the locker room at halftime and even before games, and we've just had to kind of refocus entirely as a group just because we are so young. And so I think coming out there, and especially Jordan's contribution in that third quarter, it was just kind of a spark that we needed to get the game going again.
Okay. Heading up to Alaska this week, start off with number 1 ranked Alaska Anchorage. They moved up to number 1 in the poll this week.
Yeah.
They're a tough team no matter where they're ranked. Just talk about playing them and the chance to play a number 1 team. That doesn't happen every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Alaska has always been that hard game, and especially playing up there, it's just harder. But I think that's part of the challenge is we're going in with nothing to lose. We're just going to go in and fight as hard as we can, and that's another advantage of being young is not very many of us have played up there very often, so we don't know what to expect, but that makes it better in a ways because we're just going to go out and play hard, and so I think it'll be good for us.
Okay. Talk about your season. You're a sophomore now. You've got a year under your belt. How's this gone for you this year, compared to a year ago at this time?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's way different losing those 4 seniors and having to fill just big roles that they left behind. But as a team, I think it's really fun this year because we have been able to see people fill different roles that weren't there last year, and stepping into just like a leadership role and more of a scoring role has been different for me, but it's been fun so far this year.
Are you comfortable in those roles, or is that something you had to get comfortable with?
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to get comfortable in it, and I've talked to the coaches about it, and it's just kind of a process for me. It's never been my mindset, and so this year is definitely just like a learning process for me as a whole.
Based on your experience last year, how are you a different player this year than you were a year ago at this time?
Yeah, I mean, freshman year, obviously, you come in with your different struggles just because you have less confidence and there's a bunch of older people. And then coming in with that senior class when they were so good and they just kind of had everything under control, it was good as a freshman to come in with something like that. But, yeah, I think this year has just been kind of an eye-opener for me, especially coming into like a college career. And so it's just been fun to be able to experience it.
All right.